Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I wanted to read this because I'm probably going to post it on my social media sometime this week. But you guys know I've talked about Nedra Tawwab in the past, who is a psychologist, and she is just awesome. I finished reading her book about boundaries and the workbook, and it's amazing. I will have the link to her book and everything in the description of this video if you guys want to check it out. But I wanted to read this because I think that this sums up a lot of things that I've talked about in the past when we are discussing, people working on their brands and having energy, the type of energy that you keep around you, people that encourage you. And I think this summed it up very well. It says something that we don't talk about enough. Energy is contagious. The people you surround yourself with reflect who you are, and they determine how you feel. It's hard to be optimistic in a circle of skeptics. If you are the only goal-oriented person in your circle, it will be easy to lose motivation, and you won't be held accountable. Remember this: when you choose your inner circle, you choose your energy. And I absolutely love this because it is so true. So many times we are going after a goal and we are determined to keep people around us because, we've known them for years, and I grew up with them, and it's my mother's sister's cousin, twice removed, or whatever, these sort of situations where you just feel you can't put that person kind of to the side because you kind of owe them. You owe it to them. Listen, when it comes to achieving your goals, when it comes to, I don't even know what's the best way to say it. When it comes to walking in your purpose, if you constantly have people around you who only tell you what you want to hear and not what you need to hear, because what you want to hear and what you need to hear are two totally different things. Totally different things. And we have become the type of society that we tiptoe around everything. I'm really not that type of person. I don't come from a tiptoeing around really type of family. We are pretty blunt. We do say things that's on our mind, not so much to embarrass, but to pull someone to the side and say, this is the deal, or this is how I feel about said situation. And we've had our fallings outs and our gettings back togethers and all of that sort of stuff. It happens. It's family, right? It happens with friends as well. But I will tell you, if you don't have people around you that are going to encourage you, especially I'm talking to my entrepreneurs and small business owners, those folks that have stepped out, full-time entrepreneurs especially, that have stepped out and away from their 9-to-5s to make this dream come together. I'm going to tell you right now, you have to keep people around you who get it. That doesn't mean that you shun everybody, that now you're an entrepreneur and now you don't hang with the people. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is keep people around you when it comes to this business, when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to small business ownership, all of that. Keep people around you who get it. Keep people around you who are going to encourage you in that vein, because it's very frustrating to be sometimes the lone person that owns their own business, and then amongst the group of people that you're in, when you're going through a tough time or a struggle or whatever the case may be, the first thing they say is, well, just get a job. But you have a job. You know, I'm not telling people to go broke and not have bills paid, because by all means, keep that 9 to 5 until you're able to fly solo with the business full time. You know what I mean? Be smart about it. Hold on to the 9 to 5. I'm not one of those folks that's be like, get rid of your 9 to 5 and go fly without, a net and rope. There's days that I do have those feelings, but for the most part, I can't give advice that I did not take. You know what I mean? I can't give out that advice. My advice is to hold on to the 9 to 5 as much as possible and make sure that your bills are being paid and things are getting taken care of until you can do what you need to do. And y'all know my story. There's so many things. I try to keep things light, but the past decade has been crazy. It's been rough. And there are so many things, there's still a whole lot of things that I haven't spoken about, and I don't know if I'll share it on the podcast, but you can go back in some of the episodes and you can hear some of the things that I've dealt with and what I've gone through. But like I said, you have to keep your circle of people, ones that have your back, your circle of people who keep you accountable. This has to do with business. This has to do with relationships. If you are in a relationship, whether it's a significant other, dating, fiance, married, whatever the case may be, have people around you who are accountable. You can't be married and have a whole bunch of single people around you who are dating around and seeing all these other people. You have to have like-minded people around you. You get married, keep good, solid couples around you and keep each other accountable. One of the biggest things causing divorce in this world is not only infidelity, but finances and things like that. And a lot of it is because we're not keeping each other accountable. If you got somebody that's spending all the time and maybe you're not the spender, or maybe you are the spender and your significant other isn't, those are conversations that you need to have. You got to keep each other accountable. It's not about control. It's about accountability. And accountability in relationships, no matter if it's business, no matter if it's personal, no matter if it's family, whatever it is important. You got to have accountability at your job. You got to answer to your boss and let them know what's going on with XYZ project. This is how things get done. How will the business move forward if they have no clue what it is that one of the arms is doing? And your department, I don't know what department you work in at your job, how will they know what's going on if you don't report back? That's why you make the salary that you make, to do your job and report back so that the rest of the machine can run. It's very hard to drive a car with 3 wheels. You know what I'm saying? The whole machine has to work together for everything to click correctly. So accountability goes a long way. And who you keep around you speaks a lot to that. It's very hard, I know, at work. It's not so long ago been removed from the 9 to 5 world that I understand how that works. People want to be friends at work. They want to fraternize at work and whatever. We are at work to do a job and to get a paycheck. Friendships are optional. Now, it's amazing to have friends on the job. It's amazing to have genuine people that care about you from your job, but that is not why we are here. We are here to do a duty and to get paid for said duty, and that's what it is. But when we run into issues is when people start dating on the job. Sometimes they're insubordinates or they're superiors or whatever. It just becomes subordinates. I think I said insubordinates. But you know what I mean. This is where things get tricky. But again, if you're accountable, if you're on the up and up and doing the right thing, you won't have much to worry about in that regard. But we have to be accountable. Keep your circle tight. Keep your circle together, that they encourage you when you're having a lull time. That they ask you questions. Well, how does this entrepreneur thing work? Like, do you pay yourself, or how does that work? Listen, have those conversations. Because you know, with entrepreneurship, a W-2, what? Very rare for entrepreneurs to have a W-2. Have friends around you that, even though they may not be doing the same thing that you're doing, that they ask questions and they're curious about what you do. I'll share this one story, and I think I could share it now because it's probably old enough that I could share. But there was one time a friend of mine asked me, I'm trying to word it a certain way. Well, you know what? I'll just say it the way I know how. They called me up one day just to shoot the breeze and talk. And then they said, you know what? What do you do? And I said, what? I was like, what do you mean? And they said, what do you do? Like, what do you do for your job? Like, I don't understand. And I'll be very honest with you. My first reaction really was to cuss. That's what I really wanted to do, because I was so irritated with the question. It's like, you talk to the person pretty regularly. So what do you mean you don't know what I do? And then on top of it, my website is showing on every social media that you follow me on. Like, you could easily just click the link and just go to the website and see exactly what the deal is. So instead of going left, because it really could have gone left, because that's how I felt that day, I decided to say no, rein it in. And I said, well, I handle people's brands and do their brand management and, help them with their marketing of their brand out, to their target markets. Oh, so like helping them like navigate like what stores, if they have products, what stores they should be. I said, yes. Wow, I didn't know that's what you did. Listen, it irritated me beyond. But I also had to realize that people are often in their own bubbles and they don't always see anything but what they do, and sometimes you just have to make allowances for that. I was very irritated because this is somebody that I've known for many, many years, and I just thought, for me, I would say this: we always get upset when people don't do what we would do. If it were me and I truly didn't know, if I was in their shoes and I truly didn't know what my friend did for a living, I would just click on their website and come to the conclusion that way. I would feel super embarrassed to even ask them a question like that. Even if I know that I've had friends that have changed jobs over the past few years or whatever, I don't, like, hey, what do you do now? I don't even do all that. I just go to their LinkedIn page and just see what the latest stuff is. What are they working on now? Or whatever. If you're that interested to know what's going on, you know what I mean? Or what their latest title is. Because sometimes I may not, always know what my friends' titles are at their job. I know where they work and what they do, but not necessarily their title. Go to LinkedIn before you ask questions that just make it seem like you're so disconnected. You know what I'm saying? But again, people are in their own bubbles sometimes, and I'm not, I don't escape this because, the world that we live in, sometimes you just want to stay in your own little world and not worry about the craziness that's going on around you. I get it. I totally get it. But I was very surprised just for the fact that we definitely have a pretty close, friendship and talk on a pretty regular basis. So the fact that this individual even asked something like that, let me know that people put you in the box that they want to put you in. And it just wasn't as high on the totem pole as it was for me. So what I realized was I no longer really put so much energy into folks that don't put the same energy in. It can't be one-sided, lopsided friendships. It can't be friendships where you unload on people 24/7. And when it comes time for you to speak about what you're going through or things that you've been dealing with, all of a sudden they got to take another phone call. All of a sudden they got to go. Or they can't be there for you the way that you are there for them. You know what I'm saying? We should be matching. I don't want to say matching energies, that you're high energy, I'm high energy. I mean, we should be complementing each other as far as friendship is concerned. Even in significant other relationships, your spouse is not there to complete you. Your spouse isn't there to make you happy. Your spouse is there to nurture. Your spouse is there to coexist with you, nurture with you, grow with you. I'm not waiting for my spouse to make me happy. That's not their job. Happiness is an inside job. You have to do that for yourself. But again, it really depends on the circle that you keep around you. Some people are married to folks that never talk about them in a positive way. I can't imagine that. You have to have a person that supports you in front of your face and behind your back. It's so important. Even with your boss on your job, you don't want a boss that talks crap about you behind your back. You want a boss that speaks highly of you, whether you're in the room or not. Friendships, same thing. Business, so important. So I thank Nedra Tawwab for kind of summing that up for us and giving us that great, rundown, because it was well written, and it really gives a great foundation of what we should be doing when we're choosing the circle that's around us, right? So that's all I have for today. Hopefully that helps somebody out there. Like, comment, subscribe, share this podcast out to someone who you think will find it useful. I know that a lot of people say, I listen to your podcast when I'm driving to work. And listen, I love that. Let me know that you're listening. Tag me on social media at Onyx Queen Media on Instagram, and I will shout you out in my stories. I'll repost you in my stories. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.